What did he just say? What?
Says on the beat, boy.
Yeah. Cause he want a life. Headlights, I've been whipping midnight through the city. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the limit, push that bitch into the fence. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. Headlights, I've been whipping midnight through the city. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the limit, push that bitch into the fence. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. Yeah.
Hear me out on this now, because you described the drive, the early drive, pretty.
Yeah.
And the last drive was clutch. Yeah. Like, these are pretty, so amazing to me. Dak Prescott, as a fellow dual threat quarterback, sits back and sees a guy come in, and this happened to me. Remember when Steve Bono took over, when he went in and just ran the offense. Just do the job. Nothing fancy, just do. And it really told me something that I needed to kind of reiterate to myself. Go back and do the job, and then if there's something else to happen, great. But it becomes such a part of the dynamic part of this quarterback that Dak almost got over. I want him to really study Cooper Rush, because in many ways it's doing those fundamental things that could really help Dak when he comes back. And Cooper Rush, in the meantime, needs a lot of help, and hopefully he gets it.
Yeah, Steve, I agree. I agree with what you're saying, but I would look at it a different way. I think Kellen Moore needs to look at how he called the game for Cooper Rush.
That's fair.
That's what he needs to do. It's not Dak studying Cooper. It's Kellen Moore understanding this is the best way to run your offense.
But it's always the best way to call a play and then have that play work rather than waiting for the play after the play. Aaron Rodgers has made a career of it. I get that. But Aaron Rodgers, 60% of the time, is getting the job done out of the huddle.
Correct.
And Dak needs to get the job out of the huddle, the play called out of the huddle more often. And I think that'll help the Cowboys.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation? It's your boy DMV, back with another one. And I just want to preface this, yo. Whenever you hear somebody say, hear me out, like they're either about to tell you something really enlightening or they're about to give you the biggest amount of BS that you've ever heard. And I think we just got the biggest amount of BS that we ever heard. Steve Young, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, man. See, some of these Hall of Fame football analysts, man, I don't know why they feel like they have to make, I get it. The networks are telling you to push this narrative, and push this narrative. But that's why the new media is so great, because we're never going to blow smoke up your butt. Doesn't matter if we're a Hall of Famer or not. New media is going to keep it 100. We're going to keep it, we're going to keep it 100. And I'm just going to leave it at that. And what Steve Young was saying in his argument, like, there were so many holes in what he was trying to say. Maybe he should have clarified what he was trying to say. Because for one, when he said a fellow dual threat quarterback like myself, he made it seem like Dak Prescott is just out here running around doing wild stuff. He's not running around here doing wild stuff. If Dak Prescott is out here running around, it's because the line isn't blocking, or it's not protected properly, or he doesn't have the guys up front doing their job. You know, and then second, for him to say, oh, Dak Prescott should study Cooper Kupp, that should have let you know that it was the biggest amount of BS, and he didn't believe what he was saying either. He tried to take it to an example that of something that he had to go through in the past, but it was completely different. Steve Young, you played in a West Coast system in which the West Coast was created there, or it was really established there. So it was easier for a backup to come in and just run the offense. You might have been on some wild stuff. You know what I'm saying? Dak Prescott, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that there were differences in the offense from week 1 to week 2. RG3 hit the nail on the head. The offensive coordinator needs to study those things. The coaches need to study those things and why it works a little bit better when it's simpler and why it's not. That's not on your quarterback. How you going to blame Dak Prescott for that? Look at Patrick. Here's the thing, right? Everybody wants to point to Tom Brady being able to manage a game by himself. Everybody wants to point out to Aaron Rodgers being able to do those type of things. Dak Prescott isn't on those guys' level, for one. Now, I'm just going to tell you that he's not on their level, and there's nothing wrong with that, because you could be better than those guys and not do the same things that they're doing. Patrick Mahomes is running the offense in Kansas City. Is he making plays with his legs? Yes. But you don't see Patrick Mahomes doing a whole bunch of checking and doing all that stuff at the line. I think that's what Steve Young was trying to say, but it came out real bad. You don't see, it's another quarterback that I was thinking of outside of Patrick Mahomes. But we can just leave it at Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the game. He's running an offense. Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford is running their offense. Their offensive coordinator, those guys are in charge of those things. What's wrong with holding Kellen Moore accountable here? It's his job. It's the coaching staff's job. It's Mike McCarthy's job to study these things and then figure out what works best for when your quarterback comes back. Why is Dak Prescott studying his backup? You would never tell Tony Romo to study Dak Prescott and what Dak Prescott was doing when he was sitting out. Come on, Steve Young. I know because I lived the Tony Romo era. When John Kitna was running a simpler offense than Tony Romo, nobody said for Tony Romo to come in and study John Kitna. No, it was maybe the Cowboys need to do some simpler things. We knew Tony Romo was better than John Kitna. I mean, for the most part, we knew Tony Romo was better than Dak Prescott when Dak Prescott came in here in 2016. We knew Tony was still better. But it was about what worked best. And the coaches stuck with what worked best. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, things are crazy when RG3 is the voice of reasoning. The title should be Kellen Moore needs to study, not Dak Prescott. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section, man. I'm out. Peace.